All right. All right. So as you guys know, we got Wylie Hawkins on today for the team meeting. He's built an amazing team, crazy agency, and he's still building harder than ever every day. But before I touch in a lot of the questions I got cooked up for you, kind of tie into
Yeah.
where you started, what's your story, and where you're at now.
Cool. So who in here is older than 22 years old? Put a one in the chat. Who's 20 years old? Put a one in the chat. All right, man. Cool, cool, cool. So, all right, guys. So I started when I was 20 and I was going to college thinking that like most of us in today's world, we think that college is going to be our way out because that's what our parents tell us. That was kind of what everyone told everybody. But I shortly realized when I got to college that it wasn't for me. And I was studying hospitality management. So I was studying how to run restaurants, hotels, things of that nature. And I literally worked at a hotel. So I'm like, why am I learning how to get a degree in running a hotel when I'm working there and getting paid? But then I didn't have an avenue out. But luckily, I had a roommate that came home one day and he's buzzing off the walls excited. He walks into my apartment or my house, excuse me. And he's like, or I asked him, I was like, dude, why are you so excited, man? And he goes, well, I just made $1,000 in an hour. And I was like, $1,000 in an hour. I was like, that's not too bad. And then, so with that being said, I was like, all right, let me give this thing a shot. He introduced me to life insurance sales. And then that's how I got rocking and rolling.
Wow, that's amazing, brother. And what's your team doing now? A month.
We do $12 million a month.
Wow, that's amazing. But kind of like I want to tie into kind of how long you've been here. How long you been here? Like 3 years, 4 years, 2 years,
Five and a half.
5.5 years. Wow. What's changed it for you for like what's made it so easier for people now that come in than from you when you started, so people know why it took you 5.5 years and why it's taking people now 1 year,
Yeah,
six
yeah, yeah.
months.
All right, so I'll give you this. So, hey, Amar, can you pin me
Yeah, you should be pinned.
or spotlight me for everyone?
Yeah, there we go. There we go.
Okay. Cool. So Mahmoud Nasser, he was my number one recruit. So I'm going to start here on a couple things. So guys, if you want to build a team, first off, listen up. Well, one, if you want to sell, listen up. So I read this stat that if you have somebody underneath you that you're being a mentor to, you perform 54% better. So let's say I'm Blake, and then Blake, you bring in one of your buddies and you give him this opportunity. Naturally, you are going to perform 54% better than if you didn't have that guy. What's on my tooth? Look at this shit. Sorry, boys. I just got done eating. It's a late call. But anyways, you perform 54% better, right? So I remember I heard that and I was like, dude, I'm making like 15, 20K a month. I would love for my boys to be in this business. I want to be better. I want to be held accountable. I like leading. I like serving people. I like coaching people. Let me bring my boys on. So I started by hiring a couple of my buddies. But then my second month in, what's crazy is I did 47K and I called my pops and I was like, hey, I just made over $30,000. I think I found something that's going to change my life. It's in the life insurance space. You got any advice? There's two things he told me. Number one, he said, if you stay in this business for over 10 years, you will make more money than you could ever imagine. Number two, he's like, hire Mahmoud Nasser. And I was like, what? I think you messed it up, Omar.
Oh, my bad, man.
And I was like, okay. I was like, hire Mahmoud Nasser. So, guys, the name of the game is this. Number one, dude, y'all have watched Mr. Beast where he's like, he makes these games where it's like you stand in a ring and whoever's the last one to leave the ring, y'all make 500K. Or if you hold your finger on the airplane the longest, it's the exact same thing here. All Star, our group hasn't been the fastest growing group, but we've always bared the test of time and battled every storm. Most guys I've seen, they go like this. They'll just come up and then they crash harder. We've always just been like this, slow and steady. So I don't want you to compare yourself with anybody else because in the beginning I got myself and I was comparing myself to all these people. Now we're way past all these people. Most of them aren't even in the business because their ego took them out, a situation took them out, their own wrongdoing took them out of the business. Your job is to stand in the ring. You don't even need to throw punches. You just need to stand in the ring longer than anybody. And the second thing was hire Mahmoud Nasser. So I was like, okay. So Mahmoud was in college and he was working at a car lot. Every single month, I would call him and I would check in on him and his family. I'd be like, bro, how are you? How's life? How's this? And I'd be like, at first I put him on the insurance game. I'm like, bro, you got to check this thing out. It's $1,000 per sale. I'm getting 1 to 2 sales a day. I'm working 60 hours a week, making $10,000 a week. Like, bro, you got to check it out. But he couldn't believe it because like at first you just see like I was posting pictures of all these grannies out in the field, and he's like, is he scamming people? What is Wiley doing? And if you know our background, it makes a little bit more sense. But every month I'd call him, I'd send him a picture of my bank statement, and then I would just follow up. And I did this for 18 months. 18 months. I'd call him, send him a picture of my bank statement. Because y'all have all seen this movie in Wolf of Wall Street where it's like, show me the money and I'll quit my job right now. The best tool you have is proof of income. So like Nash Turner, I'm looking at you right now because I can see you. If you made $1,000, bro, on your commission statement, dude, you need to post that. You have to show that. Like $1,000, I made this by doing X. And continue to post that because consistency equals credibility. And so it took 18 months for me to hire Mahmood. Now, do you know how much the blueprint does, Amar?
Think like 10 should be. Is it 10? I think we just touched
No,
10.
no, y'all do like 8.5 million.
Oh, okay. 8.5 then, yeah.
8.5. So think about that. 8.5 million, y'all. One hire. One hire. So your biggest fish take the longest time to reel in. Like y'all have seen like deep sea fishing where the guys are like casting a line and then they're pulling on this fish for 30 minutes, an hour, 2 hours, and then they bring in this huge shark or whatever the hell it is. Recruiting top tier talent is going to take you time. Ronnie Buchika, who I don't know if you guys know or not, he runs a 400, 500K team. He is a Hall of Fame producer twice in a row now. He watched my Instagram for 2 years. 2 years. The guy that introduced Caleb Moore to the business, he watched my Instagram for 12 months. And I could go down the line. How long did Ronnie Salem watch Mahmood? 2.5, 3 years. So, guys, if you want to build a business, it goes back to the first principle, which is whoever stands in the ring the longest will win. And then two, consistency equals credibility. Because, like, if Jarrell, let's just say Jarrell, he works at a 9 to 5 job, but you know he's going to be a dog. But for some reason, he's just not coming over, not coming over. But one day, his boss says something to Jarrell where he's like, that's it. I'm freaking quitting. Like, I'm done. You want to be the first person that Jarrell thinks of. And how are you going to do that? You're going to be posting everywhere. You're going to be sharing good news everywhere you go. And so it's a grab for people's attention. And so you guys do a great job. Like Amar does a phenomenal job posting stories, posting content, posting reels. That is why he has the size of team he has. But what's easy is for Nash or John or Blake or Jarrell or Samuel, any of y'all can do the exact same thing. So I'll go through this. So this is real simple. On your guys' Instagram story, I want you to think of it like this. All y'all got to do is share good news. So on your Instagram story, all you do is just share good news. So if you make a sale, that's great news. Share that. If Nash makes a sale, share that. If y'all see something dope in the office, share that. If you go to a nice dinner, share that. If you're in the gym, share that. If you're doing anything regarding good news, y'all got to share that. So it's super simple is just share good news and start getting out of your comfort zone because that's gonna that honestly, dude, for me was like that's how we got to $1 million a month. Like, dude, I still suck at social media. Still, like
Yeah.
I hate it. I'm not good at it, but dude, we continue to do it because I know there's other guys out there that need this opportunity.
Oh yeah, that's at the end of the day, it all comes down to posting consistently. Everything's consistent as business. Who stays longest is the one that wins. But all that also ties into kind of what I want to touch on with everyone is mindset, right? What's the biggest like mental shift you had to make to become who you are today? Like, what's the biggest mental shift you had to make?
Dude, there was a lot. So, all right, so I'll talk to y'all about this. So let's just picture that we're all in a race. And I've never ran a marathon. I don't plan on it. But let's just say we all had to run 26 miles. So Marcus, me and you are going to run 26 miles. But you seem fast. I don't know if you're athletic, you play sports or whatever, but let's say you played sports. Now I'm a pretty athletic guy myself. But let's say Marcus, you have a 50-pound vest on and I got nothing. I'm just as skinny as I am now. We're running. Who's going to run the waste the 26 miles? The guy with the 50-pound vest? No. Pro- Probably not. Probably not. Now you might be faster, more athletic, better. But the thing is your guys' job is to get the weight and the habits and the people out of your life that slow you down. So I'm gonna share a couple stories. So first off, when I made $47,000 my second month, you know what everyone fucking told me? Excuse my language. You know what everyone told me? How much are you gonna pay in taxes? I'm like, how much I'm gonna pay in taxes? I just made $47,000 at 20 years old, and y'all are gonna talk to me about how much I'm gonna pay in taxes. Because what happens, Jesus and Taryn and Tanner and Eric and Blake, is your mom and dad and the people in your life, here's what they're able to achieve. Good, bad, or indifferent. I don't know. But when you get past that ceiling, they will do anything to drag you back down because they cannot comprehend why they couldn't achieve more. So they're going to say stupid stuff like, that's a pyramid scheme. How long do you really think that's going to work? How much you got to pay in taxes? So y'all got to get really good at cutting those people out of your life. Like insanely good at it. But you can't cut mom and dad out, right? So like with my mother. So God bless her. I'm literally in our house right now. She she's never made more than $30,000 in her life in a year, ever. I make that in I made that in a day. It's insane, right? I'm not going to take advice from my mom about finances. Pretty simple. But I feel like you guys already understand this. So let me move into the next subject. What else is going to slow you down? Your habits. I don't know if y'all drink. I don't know if you chill with the boys on Saturdays. I don't know if you guys go out and smoke weed. I used to do all that stuff all the time, 24/7. Then I got in this business, I had to clean myself up. But then unfortunately, I fell back into that. I started doing that on Fridays, Saturdays. That stuff started to slow me down. That stuff started to affect me. And I was like, you know what? I want to have an edge on people. I don't want to go behind. So then for me, I had to figure out, Amar, to answer your question, bro, what were the things that I needed to remove in my life? Dude, that even came down to like how I was eating, bro. Like, dude, I
Yeah.
noticed myself literally last week when I start eating like shit, I don't feel that good. When I eat Chick-fil-A and McDonald's and whatever the hell I want, and like I got a crazy sugar tooth, if I eat bad, I feel like shit. Cause like y'all are all Ferraris. If you put the wrong fuel in your car, it ain't gonna drive the same. But your job is to ask yourself, who are the people in your life that you need to cut out, remove, or just create a line? That's the first thing. The second thing is, what are the habits that you have to remove? Like, this is super basic stuff, But this is the stuff that every millionaire on the planet has down. Like what I've noticed, guys, I literally met a billionaire, a dude that had $4 billion in his bank account. In his bank account. I was like, bro, you have four. How many zeros is that? That's a lot of money. You know what advice he was giving me? I sat down with him for like 30 minutes. I was down in Florida. And he's like, bro, what are your habits? Like, walk me through how you think about these things. All these like super basic things. He's like, how do you make decisions? Who are the people you surround yourself with? And I was just like, what? I was like, you have $4 billion. I'm expecting to hear something crazy. And he's like, nah, you walk with the wise, you become wise. You walk with a companion of fools, you will suffer harm. When you're around people that go out and drink and do dumb shit, you do dumb shit. That causes you harm. That throws your mental off. That throws your real purpose. When you're around wise people that do wise things, you just get wiser. When you're around a lot of people that make money, you just start making money. So, Amar, that's my answer on that, bro.
No, that's amazing. I think a lot of people what they focus a lot on is the obviously the inputs. They're very important, obviously, dialing, everything like that. But a lot of people don't talk about, what we need to take out of our business essentially. But kind of tying into the selling part, what would you say like obviously I have a lot of new agents on here. It's gonna be their first 30 days running at it, and a lot of them haven't really they might have made their first sale and right they might be in a slump. What's
Yeah.
your biggest advice to tell them or kind of like walk them what you would do if you were a new agent for their first 30 days?
Yeah. Well, so the best piece of advice I got when I was new was to get through a 90-day sprint. So this business is challenging. It's extremely simple, but you guys have to understand that it is challenging. It's a new skill. You've never done sales. It's hard to learn the phones, all this stuff. So you need to figure out what are you willing to sacrifice for the next 90 days and give it everything that you got. Like everything. So my first 90 days, I worked 12 hours a day, 7 days a week because I wasn't really good at this thing. And I had to supplement my lack of skill with a ton of work ethic. So like if you guys aren't good, that's fine. I wasn't either, but you're just gonna have to work extra hard and get those extra reps so then you can figure out how to actually, get better. So that's number one. Yep, volume negates luck. The second thing, guys, is after every single sales call, you need to review with the 30K producer. So just picture this. So y'all have all been in a boat, and I hope you know what a rudder is. A rudder is at the back of the boat. If you turn the rudder like this, literally one inch, it will completely change the path that you're on. So you're here, you're going straight. Now you move it this way, you're going this way. That's just a simple move of this much. Inside of the script in the presentation, you say the wrong thing, it will completely change the outcome of the sale. But the only people that know what to fix are the guys that sell 30, 40, 50,000. So after every single sales call I ever had, I always reviewed it with a mentor. That was it. Like every call, every presentation, every appointment I went to, I always reviewed with the mentor. So that's the first thing, or the second thing, excuse me. The third thing is do not take advice from anybody that doesn't have what you want. Pretty simple. If someone is selling 10, 15, 20K and you want to sell 30, 40, 50, don't fucking listen to them. Just be like, with all due respect, bro, like, and just keep going. Now, the last thing, guys, is what you will see is like when I started, I was the youngest, I was the second youngest guy in the whole entire company. Literally second youngest. I held all the records for the youngest guy, all this stuff. Now we have 18-year-olds, 19-year-old, 20-year-old kids left and right. Like most of FFL is 20-year-old kids. And I think it's amazing. But what happens is when you walk into that office in Kentucky, you guys hang out, you guys are buddies, all that stuff. That's great. But from when the clock strikes 9 a.m. till minimum 7 p.m., those are work hours. You should be dialing, and that is it. That's all you should be doing. Dialing, 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 dialing. So watch out with side conversations, but what I'm telling you is protect your time, protect your dial time, protect your time. So for a new
No, that's,
agent, that's what I would tell y'all.
no, that's amazing. And then I'm gonna go over just like three objections that a lot of people get. Like, say someone says it's too expensive. What are you saying?
So if it's too expensive, you already messed up. So the biggest thing, Amar, is like I'll go through this. I'll go through how I built the Y.
All right, bet.
So I'm like perfect, Amar. So have you ever looked into this before?
Uh, yeah, maybe a little here and there.
A little? Okay, cool. When's the last time you looked into this?
Last time when I canceled my other policy, but I don't have a policy right now.
Okay, cool. So you canceled your other policy, and then how much was that one set up for? Like 10, 15,000?
15,000.
15,000. And then I'm assuming it was just pretty expensive. You're paying like what, 200,
I
150?
can't really remember, but probably
Okay,
can't.
we'll put a ballpark down because I know you're on Social Security and money's pretty tight. So you
Do
you probably know
one,
your budget better than me. Like, what do you think? 180,
yeah,
200?
180, we'll say.
Up to 180. Okay, so it was just the money because I think we can both agree like your family safety and leaving them something that sounds super important to you, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So if it was just the money, as long as this would fit in your budget and would still solve the problem at hand, would there be anything else from stopping you getting coverage set up?
Um, no, no.
No. Okay, cool. So then right there, guys, I know that anything below 180 bucks is going to be good for him. And then what I'm going to do, and I'm not going to go through it all right now with y'all, but I call it sitting in the pocket. So we could sit here all day for the next 20 minutes and I'll build the why with you guys, but you need to sit in the pocket of building the why. So right away, I always want to know, like, yes, God forbid, if you were to pass away tomorrow, who's the one picking up the pieces? It's my daughter, Janet. Okay, cool. I want to know what Janet does though. Like y'all just are like, cool, daughter, next thing. No, 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 fuck that. What does Janet do? Does she have children? Is she married? All this stuff. Because typically Janet, she's blue collar. She's got two, three kids, and she don't have any money. And she lives in another state. So then when I'm like, cool, so God forbid you pass away tomorrow, walk me through what it looks like for Janet. So she's gonna have to take 2 weeks off of work. She's gonna have to stop working. She's not gonna get paid for that. She's gonna have to cover your lease. She's gonna have to move all your shit out. She's gonna do this, she's gonna do this, she's gonna do this. So I know we were talking about the burial, but how in the world is she gonna afford that?
Yeah.
So the more questions that you ask and the better the questions, the better the answer. So I'll never get that it's too expensive because I know their budget. I know how important it is to them before I ever get there. So your job is just like picture you walk the client down a path or like a road and you have to make sure there's a dead end on each road. So when the client is like here, like how much do you make? I want to figure out everything about their budget before I go to my next section. How much you
Yeah.
have coming in, how much you have coming out, how much you have in savings, all that stuff. So if they're saving something, for example, I'm like, cool. So you save like how much you put away, like three, four, 500, and I always throw out numbers. The reason why I always throw out numbers is just to figure out roughly, like they'll give me like the reason why I was like 200, 250 when Amar was saying, he had a policy is I want to give them numbers. So they're like, no, it was like 160 bucks. Then I'm like, cool, that's my number. I need to work from anything below 160. So I'm like, hey, do you save? They're like, yeah. I'm like, cool. It's like what, like two, three, four, 500 bucks? They're like, yeah, like 300. I'm like, awesome, man. So most people in your scenario, what they do in this situation is they'll take a small chunk of what they save, call it 100 bucks, and then they allocate that into an insurance policy to guarantee the safety of their family. So you're already saving 300, just save 200, move 100 bucks into this policy, and then we guarantee that your family's set up and they're taken care of. Does that work for you, Bob? They're like, yeah. I'm like,
No, it's amazing that you touched on the why real quick. Now, before I jump into your Q&A, I have one more question for you. So a lot of people don't understand what intentional working is. And you've talked to this with me a lot individually, about the slouching, about all this stuff and the mindset of actually wanting to build a business and not just coming here just to dial. So
yeah.
I really want you to touch on that because there's a big problem, obviously, that I see in the office and obviously on Discord. There's not really like a motive of like, oh, I want to invest in my business. Oh, I like, I'm trying to say. So kind of just touching that before we jump into Q&A.
Yeah, yeah. So a question that has been really helping me, and if you guys do want to build a business, just ask yourself, if my whole team did this, what would my organization look like? So if my whole team, like for the 9 or 12 or 15 people that didn't show up on Zoom, if my whole team didn't show up on Zoom, what would my organization look like? I wouldn't have one. If my whole, let's say a guy's late, let's just say Blake is late. If Blake is 30 minutes late, if everyone was late, what would my organization look like? You wouldn't have one. So if that's the case, you have to learn how to be a good leader to yourself. So like if Marcus is like, dude, I really don't want to dial for the next 30 minutes, bro. Like I just want to go home. I've had a freaking really tough day. It's 6:30. Like I don't want to dial for the next hour, 2 hours. If your whole team did that, Marcus, what would your organization look like? You wouldn't have one, right? So, guys, first you have to learn how to lead yourself. And then secondly, Amar, like your question, bro, is mainly for you. If you want people to show up on time, you show up on time. If you want people to do 40K, you got to do 80. They're only going to do half of the good that you do. If you don't want people to slouch on the team call, like you got to be up like this. Like I'm standing up for a reason on this team call.
Yeah.
It's late. It's 8:26. Like we all have quote unquote better things to do, but I want to show up and at least give you energy. And so that's what I'm gonna do. Because if everyone showed up to team calls and they're like,
Yeah.
it's like, yeah, that's why you get fucking smoked, dude.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? It's like that's why you get smoked, dude. Like, play the game, dude. Like show up to win, dude. Like it's crazy. Like, I don't know if you've lost people in your life. I don't know if you have people in your life that are sick that don't get chances, people that have died. Like, dude, honestly, when you start looking at your life and you have any type of perspective on it, like this is the best thing in America.
Yeah.
Guys left and right, like, bro, like Mahmoud Nasser, multimillionaire. I'm a multimillionaire. Ronnie Salem, multimillionaire. Amar, he's soon to be a multimillionaire. Like, dude, left and right, we could go down this whole organization. We have like 15 to 20 millionaires now. And is the money what matters most? Absolutely not. What matters most is what you do with the money and the person that you become in the process. Because the only way that Amar is going to make $1 million is he will have to change. When I first met Amar, he fucking talked like, and I was like, look, motherfucker, you're never going to make money because you don't listen to anyone. Because I can't even talk when I'm around you. But now he's gotten really good at listening and being with people and actually like consuming the knowledge. He knows when to talk and when not to. He's still learning. But if he always was like this the whole time, then who could help him? And he was just excited. I was the same way. But um, man, I mean, dude, it starts with y'all. And what I can tell you, dude, is like my first year in business, I'll tell you this, outside of the money, outside of the amazing things that I have, I own $1 million house. This is a house that I bought my mother. Dude, I send her $40,000 plus a month. Like $40,000 a month for God knows what. Like my mom's richer than most people on this call. She makes $480,000 a year. And she don't do nothing except for flat like mow the garden. Like whatever. She does whatever. She went to Charlotte today. I was like, "What'd you do?" And she's like, "I don't know. I just went shopping." I'm like, "Fire." I'm like, "Did you have a good day?" She's like, "I had the best day ever." I'm like, cool, because I got to see my mom up on her feet and like literally all day. She just worked 9 to 5 at this little flower shop back home in Colorado in this tiny ass town. And she hated her life. At the end of the month, we didn't have money, so she would only buy soup, which is like 49 cents a can. And then for a whole week straight, we would eat soup. And now I get to provide her a life she never thought was even possible. She wants a Bentley. She wants a Bentley. I'm like, great. I'll get you a Bentley. And I wish, my mom has great taste, but it's expensive taste. But y'all, like, dude, your whole world can flip so quickly. And it took me 5.5. It will take y'all too. Like this, the game now is so much easier, bro. Like this is a walk in the park. It's a walk in the park,
Yeah,
man.
no,
So,
that's
dude,
amazing. But
great questions. Great
yeah,
questions. And
we'll
I know
leave
you
it
guys
to
got some questions, so go ahead and
yeah.
just fire away, man.
Fire 'em away. Let's go. Closed mouths don't get fed.
Got a question for you, brother. How would you say your faith has shaped the way that you run your business and make decisions at, such a high level?
Yes. How has it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like, how's
dude.
your faith
You cut
run your
out
business?
on that last one.
Oh, how's your faith, shape the way that you run your business and, make decisions?
Yeah, so not to go like super deep into it, but I didn't have any type of faith until I was 20, and then I did find God. And there's a lot of times in my life, guys, that I didn't have the answers and things didn't make a lot of sense to me. But the one thing that I could count on was God was always going to be there, regardless of the season that I was in. And there was a lot of really crazy, like, call it coincidence, call it God. It's definitely God. Things that happened to me that I just can't explain, where I'm like, I wouldn't be standing here today, alive, breathing, if I didn't have someone looking out for me. And then, dude, as I've grown my relationship with the Lord, Tanner, bro, like I consider him in everything that I do. Like I wake up and pray, I read the word in the morning, bro. I'm in the Bible at night. Like I consider him in everything that I do, and all the answers are in there. Like the best book, like I mean, dude, like I've read a lot of self-development books and whatnot. Like Proverbs is good, all this stuff. Think and Grow Rich, but like, dude, there's nothing better than reading the Bible. There isn't. I mean, there's not. So for you, dude, I know you got a faith, man. Like, stay in the Word, bro. Get around wise counsel, and they'll continue to just educate you, and get you the answers you're looking for, or help you out.
Hey man, I got a question.
What's going on?
So like going off of like your faith and stuff, what habits and actions do you take daily to, just keep the motive going about like your business and just the things that you do and the life that you want to have in the future?
Yeah, dude, that's a good question. So, guys, when I was in your shoes, this is actually probably the best. This will be the best thing that I can give you, like tactically. So, every single day, so I got this notebook. I write in this notebook all the time. Now, what I write in there is I always write down 3 things that will move the needle forward. So, what are 3 things that will move my life forward? So if I did a workout a day, would that get me stronger? Would that keep me healthy? Yes. All right, cool. So I'm gonna write that down, workout. The second thing for me, could I get a sale a day? As long as I got one sale a day, Blake, I knew I was gonna be good. Like one sale a day kept the chargebacks away, kept me profitable and healthy. And then the last thing was personal development. So again, the best book is the Bible. There's also the School of YouTube. You can go onto YouTube and find amazing content about sales, about business, all that stuff. So my big three, dude, was one sale a day, one workout a day, and then one personal development daily. Dude, that is all I did, bro. Because like, think about it. How do you say your name, brother?
Jairus, it's just like Paris but with a J.
Jairus. So, dude, it's like, bro, every day that's one brick.
Yeah.
Second brick, second brick. And it's simple, dude, because people want to do all this stuff. But it's like, not just do what you can guarantee and then do that for a long period of time and then watch how your life changes.
Just takes the little steps and then watch it evolve. Thank you, man.
But for real, like y'all need to get a notebook, write down three things that will move your needle every single day. And I'm telling you, man, like I don't know what it is when I put pen, like ink on the paper and I just write it down. I have to make it happen when I write it down.
Got you, man. Thank you.
Yep.
So you mentioned earlier on the meeting you were on around like noon, I believe. As goes the leader, so goes the organization. So I'm trying to build a business. I'm trying to hit 150K team production by March. So what advice would you give someone aiming to reach high production while also trying to reach those manager production as well?
Yeah, that's good. Who just asked that question?
Blake Christopher.
Oh, what's up, Blake? So, all right, the best way I can describe this, do you go to the gym?
I do, yes, sir.
All right. So when you hit arms, it's fun. It's honestly pretty easy, and you get a pump right away. Like at least for me, like you can see my veins, my arm look big, like instantly, it's gratifying.
Hmm.
And then also, like I know people can see it. So your personal pin is like hitting arms. Super easy to do. Building and recruiting is like hitting legs. It's fucking, here's the bar, you're squatting. It's heavy, it's exhausting, it's painful, and nothing changes for like 90 days. Nothing. So, why I tell you this is because in sales, you will instantly get a reward within 30 days. With recruiting, it's 90-day cycles. You'll have these huge upticks every 90 days. So, how do you balance it? You don't. Like, let me just be flat out. Like, you don't balance it. Everyone's like, I'm like, just throw that word out the door. Like, you don't fucking balance it. But what you do is you schedule it. All right. There's a big difference. There's no such thing as balance when you want to change your life and do something extraordinary. Like, there's just not. So, from 9 till 7, I closed and dialed. Now, in between that, Blake, I would take my lunch for about an hour and a half, from like 12:30 to about 2. During that time, that's when I set my interviews and I responded to people on Instagram. Then anything after 7 o'clock or 7:30, that's when I took more interviews. Then when did I train my people? I trained them from 8:30 to 9 in the morning and then throughout the day. Because like, dude, I see some people train. I'm like, bro, y'all are the worst trainers I've ever heard. And what I mean by that is you just need to change one thing, like one super small thing. So you don't need to give everyone the whole world, Blake, but like when you're training somebody, let's just say like their tonality sucks, they can't handle objections, they're shaky. You need to tell them one thing they did good at and then just one thing they need to fix. And until they fix that one thing, I'm not giving them anything else. But so building is like legs. So first and foremost, understand that. And then sales is like arms. You get rewarded for it right away. It looks good, it feels good. And but don't get addicted to just hitting arms, right? A lot of people in this
Oh my gosh.
they get addicted to hitting arms.
No, I appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, dude.
All right, any more questions?
Yeah,
Hey,
like
Riley.
All right, we'll go for Jesus. You can ask it first.
so whenever let's say back then when you were actually producing much and not really focused on both team building and producing, uh what would you do like when you were going crazy producing and then the momentum stopped? What would you do to reset and to start over again?
Yeah, dude, I would do a self audit, bro. So, like, dude, I'll just go through something I went through last week. So, 2 or 3 weeks, like for the last like month of December, I was on fire. Like, bro, I felt amazing. Everything was good, man. Like, really freaking good. Like, when you just feel on top of your game. But then, dude, I got like confident and arrogant, and I was like, like I can stay up a little later. I don't need to hit the gym. Like, bro, I've been hitting the gym, man. I feel good. Bro, like, do I need to eat this? Nah, well, I kind of want to get a this. Like, I want to get a milkshake, or I want a Diet Coke because I love Diet Coke. And then boom. But then what I started noticing, bro, was I wasn't waking up on the hours I usually do, and then I wasn't going to the gym. And then because I wasn't going to the gym, I started having like a little bit of anxiety, and like then I was starting to act different on my calls, and then I wasn't speaking clearly. The next thing you know, I'm just thinking to myself, like, bro, like I'm off. I'm like, how am I off? But what does it say? It says a little leaven leavens the whole lump. So if you have a piece of bread and you get a little bit of mold on the corner, that whole thing will spread like wildfire like this. So y'all got to be really aware because what I noticed, Jesus, was when my sales dropped, dude, it was just because like all the things that I typically did got like they were out of whack. But I didn't see that. So y'all have to do a really good job of like, here's Wylie Hawkins, the man. But could I remove myself and almost look at myself like as a machine? And I'm like, all right, is he doing the daily things? Like, is he in his word? Is he working out? Is he doing this? And then I can ask myself on paper, and I'm like, no, I'm not. Or like, who is in my life that's speaking new things? Like, dude, there was a guy in my life, bro, for 3 months this year. This guy was a fucking moron. Sorry, like this guy was just an idiot. But he was one of my filmers. He was with me all the time. He filmed for me and he gave me the worst advice ever. But it seemed really confident. Now, I never took his advice, but it started to get to my head of questioning my own thoughts. And then I was off, Jose, for like 3 months because I had the wrong guy in my life. I had the wrong person in my life. I'm like, he doesn't have or he's never achieved any of the things I want. So I would just say that, bro, because most of the time, man, when I knew I was or I saw I was in a slump, it was just because the habits and then my mental. Like I wasn't watching enough trainings, I wasn't on YouTube, all that stuff.
I appreciate it, man.
Yeah.
Then Wiley, I got a question.
Yeah, what's up?
So, did you start recruiting from day one, or is that something you picked up on when you just started selling more?
Dude, I started recruiting from day one, bro. Yeah. I started recruiting from day one, dude, because if you start recruiting right now, Blake, mute yourself. If you start recruiting right now, it's going to be 60 days until you really get your first hire. So I don't know what you sell a month or what you're doing or what you're not doing, but it's really going to be 60 days until that first guy comes through the pipeline. So you got plenty of time to learn the business, get yourself right. And honestly, dude, you don't even got to teach people anything when you get them in here, bro. You just got to plug them into the trainings, give them a script, breathe some life into them, and let
Yeah.
them run.
Yeah, I got someone in here right now, licensed. He's had a couple sales so far.
Awesome, bro.
Um,
Congrats, dude.
I appreciate it. I was just gonna ask you, since I really plan on building a bunch, but I plan on, producing a bunch, is there a good way to just set boundaries on just like teaching and asking questions and making sure they're good and everything like that, and also sure making your dialing times good?
Yeah, dude. So, Amar, let me ask you a question. Amar, what do you think are Blake's like biggest strengths?
Blake's biggest strength is coming in here with the probably the best energy, like the highest energy anyone has.
Fire. Hey, Blake, how often has Amar told you that? And be honest.
Um, I wouldn't say high energy. He talks about my leadership a bunch.
Okay, good. So, what I told Amar when we sat down in Florida, I'm like, bro, your job is simple. It's just to find what people are good at and tell them what they're good at. So like for you, you're like the Energizer Bunny, call it, right? Like you build culture. So I got guys like Jackson Rappaport and Luke Rappaport. Dude, they come in a room, they got fucking great energy, they carry the room, they're fun to be around, they light up the room. I tell them that all the time because then they remember that. So on days that they feel sad or down, they're not going to act sad or down. They're still going to bring life because that is the identity that they begin to build in themselves. So, dude, how do you build a team, bro? You tell people what they're really good at. You encourage them, you encourage failure, and then you just get out of the way and you got to let people fail, man. And then if they can't pick themselves up, because like what I've noticed is like when you I don't have a child, but like everyone here knows how this works. When you're for a little kid, you breastfed, and then you start eating baby food, and then you eat big boy food, and then you can walk, and then you can run. Most people just freaking keep the kid on the tit. Where it's like, I need to get this person fully independent, walking by himself as quick as humanly possible. So that means like sending him out. He's gonna fail, he's gonna mess up, and I'm gonna see can he pick himself up or do I need to be there to pick him up? So I hope that answers your question.
Okay, I got you. Yeah. No, I actually really got your message. I appreciate that, man.
Yeah, yeah.
Thanks for your time.
Yo, Wiley, I got a quick question, bro.
What's up, Hakeem?
So you're one of the most humble guys I know. You clearly, like you said on the last call earlier today, you cleared like 300 a month, which is great, very impressive. And I mean, you're driving like a nice, not like super nice car. Guys, he only drives like a Raptor, and he just bought that. I talked to the
Mhm.
guys like what you do with your money whenever you start making a large amount of money each month. Like in the beginning, I know it was harder for you whenever you were 20, like you said. People were talking about taxes and stuff like that, but even though that's not like something we need to worry about right in the front, it is something that, as men, we need to start worrying about saving and prioritizing that. So could you talk about how you prioritize saving and budgeting whenever you start making large amounts of money and what you do with that to,
Yeah,
sustain
yeah,
your
yeah.
wealth?
So for I'll answer this for the good majority of you guys. So number one, pay your business first before you pay anything else. Like I paid my business before I paid rent, car insurance, phone bill, unless I had to pay the phone bill. But in the beginning, like your first 6 months, dude, like, bro, y'all aren't gonna be making like some crazy amount of money. So pay your business first. Now, don't do this. This is what broke people do. Broke people buy designer, broke people buy stupid cars, broke people buy liabilities. What is a liability? Dude, that's $1,000, $1,200 a month car payment. Like, dude, I'm not gonna like, dude, everyone has a nice car. Like, typically people that like, you're like, does this guy even have money? And they got a nice car. It's because they just want the recognition of the thing they don't have. And so I've probably given more money away. Like, I think I gave away $400,000 this year. Just because, like, that's what I'm called to do. Like, I know that giving back is more important than anything else in the world because it says like in the word like as you come into this world so you will go out, meaning I came in with nothing, I'm gonna leave with nothing, dude. Everything up, I'm gonna store all my riches up in heaven. But now to answer your question, Hakeem, if I was in your shoes, what I would do when I start making more than 20,000 is I would take 10% and I would just put that away, and I would just stock that in a savings account that I don't look at. But that means every check. So if I got a check for 2,000, I'll put 200 bucks away. Or at the end of the month, whatever is easier. But just take 10%, put it away, but do not touch that money. Like that money doesn't exist. That money's not there. None of that. And then as you get more money, like when you start making like 40, 50, 60, 70, 80K, you guys will find like Mahmoud's got a local tax guy. I think they call him the wizard, which is awesome. Y'all will sit down with the wizard, man, and he'll get you right. You just gotta find some like, I don't know, just some accountant. So that would be my advice, man. But right now, you guys are just in the phase of like y'all gotta pour back into your business.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, that's fact. Thanks, bro. Because it's exactly like you said earlier. You're not known or remembered for how much money you make. You're known for the man you become whenever you make that money and what you do with it. So,
Yeah, man.
thanks for helping these guys, Wiley. I appreciate you taking your time.
Yeah, dude. That's a good point, bro. And we can end with this. Like, it says your reputation is worth far more than gold and rubies. Because if you guys have been to a funeral, I don't know if y'all have been to a funeral or not, but like for someone that's close to you, or maybe you just knew decently, you never think about how much money they made. You think about what type of interactions did you have with that person and how did they make you feel when they were around you? Did they lift you up? Were they cool? Were they fun to be around? Were they assholes? Were you like, honestly, I could care less if that dude died. He was kind of an asshole. Like, is that messed up for me to say? Probably, but for real, that dude was a father. And I'm like, well, shoot, like, dude, I don't know. I don't think about my funeral because I know where I'm going, which I'm super excited for. But also, I'm like, I hope people are like, man, Wiley was a good dude. He worked his butt off. He always helped me out. He was fun to be around. And overall, it was just a positive being around him. So I think that's more important than anything we talked about today, man, is just like, how do you carry yourself every day, man? How do you hold yourself? And the last thing I'll say in terms of like leadership and building something really big, if you can ask yourself every day, who do I need to serve? Who do I need to lift up? What people do I need to be there for? You get out of your head, because that's most of the battle is getting out of your head. And you're like, how can I help Amar? How can I help Jarrell? How can I help Blake? How can I help John? How can I help Nash, Marcus, Hakeem, Carlos, Shay, Eric? How can I help those guys? I can help them by showing up at a call at 8 o'clock when I would much rather be hanging out with, like, to be honest, I'd much rather be hanging out with mom, kicking it with her because I haven't seen her in all year. But I'm like, nah, y'all need this. So if there's one thing you got out of it, then I did my job. But that's what you got to ask yourself, Blake, every single day, dude, is who can I help? Starts with the clients, starts with the people around you. And that's how you'll build a really big business, man, is if you have a servant heart.
No, that's amazing. Thank you so much, Wiley. I do appreciate you a lot. Everyone drop some ones in the chat for him. If you guys have anything to say, let him know.
Let's
Uh,
go. I got one more question if you got time, Wiley.
Sure, let's do it, dude.
I got so if you can find them, if not, one would work. But what's one thing? It sounds like from the call you talked about today, you're big on removal rather than like adding into things.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
what's one thing that you removed as far as selling, and what's one thing that you removed as far as team that helped you progress?
Dude, so with selling, I would say the one thing I think like I love these guys going off in the chat. It's like a battle. Um, dude, I think people they get really addicted to the script, which is good. But the best guys that I know, they are the best listeners. Like they hear the client and they understand where the client's like train of thought is headed and they cut it off. And so whatever that means for you, Blake, but that would be my answer for selling is don't remove the script, but remove like you have to follow that thing. Like, yes, follow it to the T when you're new. But then once you get it down, dude, like, bro, you got to come alive, let your personality shine, start thinking on your feet. And then building, I would remove, I'd remove the thought that people actually like think about you more than you think. And what I mean by that is, when you make a stupid post, no one, first off, no one probably even sees it and they just click right past it and it's like 2 seconds. But you're thinking this person's gonna think I'm an idiot. They're gonna say something to me tomorrow. They're gonna do this. They're gonna treat me differently, XYZ. So you're stuck, your mental framework of, oh my gosh, this really matters. That's what you need to remove. I think a good question, Blake, to put thing in perspective is, will it matter in 5 years? Like, does this one post matter in 5 years? Probably not. Post it. Because you just got to get in the habit of posting, getting out of your comfort zone, dude.
I love that one.
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Hey,
All
well,
right, Wally.
I really like the message that you're really putting out, and like that you post on your YouTube and everything. Thought I'd let you know.
Yeah, dude, I appreciate that, man. We're trying to take the YouTube to the moon. But y'all,
All right,
I
Wally.
will see you guys at convention, man. If you guys aren't registered, we're trying to break records, me, Mahmood, and Ronnie Salem, with the amount of people we have at convention. Guys, convention, the last thing I'll say is convention is the event that genuinely changes your life. Like, you get to meet everyone, Stanley Smith, Sean Mike. If you haven't met Ronnie Salem, obviously y'all know Mahmood. I haven't met you guys. I'd love to meet you. You get to meet a ton of people. So please, fflconvention.com. They do only have limited seats this year. And I want our group, Blueprint, All Star, Playbook. I want our group to be the loudest, the proudest, the hungriest group. There is no better team out there than our group. And genuinely, what I want to say to y'all, and I'll let you guys be, is like, I'm fucking proud of you guys. I know how hard it is to build a business in your 20s. I know what your friends think. I know what your mom and dad think. I know the days that you're like, I don't know if I can make it. I know when you get hit with the shit ton of chargebacks and you barely have enough for leads and you're just scraping by. I know the long nights. And what I want to tell you is it is all worth it, hands down. Like, it's better than you could imagine. It is better than you can imagine.
Yeah, no. That's amazing. I love
Hakeem,
that.
you,
And I,
I was gonna
I want
say,
to end it off
Hakeem,
with this.
you don't get all-star merch, bro, because you can't spell my name right, dog.
Hey, I want to end it off with
Wiley,
this.
that was me. Wiley, my bad, my bad. I'm in the gym.
But yeah, no, Hakeem literally took me to convention last year, and I didn't have no one. And now I'm able to come to convention with all of y'all. So take it with
Yeah,
that grain of salt. But Wally, appreciate your time, man, for
I
everything you do
appreciate
for us.
it.
Yes,
Let's
sir,
go,
brother.
man.
But